Hello, my book and wax friends. I'm Amber. If you're new, welcome. Welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is my TBR jar picks, my books for the month of August. So I do like to have an official list, and this is a super fun way to do it. I am a mood reader though, so I will mood read. And so this is more of a pile of possibilities, but I do put forth an effort to read the books that end up on my TBR. So I have my shelf right here ready to go with August focused books. The ones that still feel summery, but could possibly lean into fall because I'm so ready for fall reading. So let's jump into it and see what the first prompt is. I always pick 6 books. Tell me in the comments if you do like an official TBR yourself, or are you like completely a mood reader? Do you have a combination that you do like I do? Let me know down in the comments because I'm always curious to know what people's reading habits are. Okay, the first one I have is Dessert on the cover. And this one, I think, is the only one that I have, although it's not really on the cover. It is on the sprayed edge though. So would that work? Because I don't think anything else has dessert. Maybe Miss Bunkle's book. Does this one have dessert? No, that one does not have dessert. And The Heart of War. Well, there's an apple. I guess an apple could be considered dessert. So that one could work. And then this one, The Far Away Inn, does not have dessert on the cover, but it has it on the sprayed edge. And so am I feeling which one works better? Some people consider apples dessert, so that would work. And it's on the cover. So I think I'm going to go with this one, The Heart of War by Olivia Snow, which is takes place in London, 1815. If love is war, then London's marriage mart is a battlefield, and Helena Weston is the most cunning general. As a diamond of the season, Helena has never struggled to collect suitors, but when her father's fortune collapses, she faces the unthinkable, marriage not as a conquest, but as survival. Using The Art of War as her courtship playbook, Helena has only 2 months to secure a husband rich enough to save her family from destitution. She selects 3 candidates for her scheme, including Edmund Hawke, a handsome newcomer to London with a mysterious past and an insufferable tendency to jeopardize her carefully laid plans. So it seems like it's going to be a fun time. I love Regency England books, and this is, I've heard, it has lots of banter and stuff. It is a clean historical romance. So that is The Heart of War by Olivia Snow. And then, and I just remembered I had that book I wanted to put on as well. Okay, so that's book number 1. So we have 5 more we're going to choose. Alrighty, moving on to prompt number 2. Let's see what we get. And just an FYI, if it's like out of season, it's a prompt that's out of season, I'll probably veto. I'm not, it's my prompts. If I want to veto, I'm going to veto. But I'll try, of course, to do what I can. But okay, nighttime cover. All right, let's see. Do we have any nighttime covers? No, not the Crimson Throne. And this one, let's see. The River She Became. Look, we have stars. And I just got this book from Fairy Loot. So that one could work. Let's see. Bride of the Fae Prince. No, it looks like that's more just sparkles, but let's see this one. This is another one, again, Imperfect Harmony, which is a Phantom of the Opera kind of reimagining. I would say it almost looks like they're stars, but it looks more like It almost looks like snow. I thought this was more of a summer read, but maybe this is more of a winter read because it looks like snow there. I don't know, but that one's not gonna work. Let me see. Oh, Star Chaser, the name has stars. There are stars, you guys. So that one, Ever the Hunted, no, this is all flowers on that one. Unicorn Hunter, that looks like it's in the day. And no, none of those. Fire Endless is just fire. Okay, so I think the two that I have right here, yeah, no, that's not gonna work either. I'm sorry, you can't see the bottom shelf, but I was looking at the Raven Scholar. So we have two options. The River She Became by Emily Varga. And this feels like it could be a good summer one, but almost summer into fall. And then we have Star Chaser, which is the second book. The first one is Night Weaver. I did really enjoy that. I do want to get to the second one. I think the third one comes out this month in August. And this one is definitely, because it has pirate stuff in it and stuff like that, feels more summer to me. So I think I'm going to go with Star Chaser. So for book number 2, nighttime cover, we're gonna go with Star Chaser. And in the first book, as I said, it was about pirates and a girl and her family who are pirates. They live on the sea. They aren't able to kind of go to land. A lot of people that are humans live on the sea because there's these supposed monsters that took over the land. And at the beginning of the first book, Aster and her family end up getting captured and taken to land. Come to find out, people aren't monsters like they thought they were, but there are monsters, if that makes sense at all. And she and her family end up becoming servants for this like well-to-do family. And it starts from there. It was a fun read. And I'm looking forward to the second one. So Star Chaser for nighttime cover. All right, prompt number 3 is, let's do this one. And this has a map, my favorite. I love a book with a map. So let's find some of these and see if there are maps. So Sea of Charms, this is Sarah Bester's third. I'm hoping there might be a map. No map in that one, dang. Let me see about the Never Air. This one, does it have a map? No, it has a beautiful picture, but not a map. Okay, so that's not gonna work. I have Of Flame and Fury. Let's see if there's a map, and look at the end papers on that one, so pretty. Okay, this one, does it have a map? Okay, there is a map in this one, so this is a contender for sure. Let's see, what else we have? Fire Endless. I know this has a map actually, because I just read the first book last month and I knew there was a map. So there's a map in that one. Let's see, how about, no, because now I think that's, I was gonna say Imperfect Harmony, but now I think that might be wintry. I'm gonna look at the Raven Scholar and see if there's a map in this one. There is a map. Okay, so there's 3 books. I think I'm gonna stick with that and decide between these. So we have one that's about phoenixes and like phoenix racing, I think, which is cool. I have wanted to read it. But we have A Fire Endless, which is the second in the Elements of Cadence duology of spoilers. I love the first book. And I do want to get to this one, so it makes sense to put it on the TBR. But then we have the Raven Scholar, which I don't know if this is a standalone, but I've heard really good things about this one. And I've heard it's actually really good to read in the summer because I thought it'd be kind of more fall. But I guess it takes place in the summer. So there's that one. But this is a very chunky book. That's why I've kind of been putting it off, because it's so chunky. I don't know. I really do want to read. I'm gonna cut out that one. I do want to read both of these. And I think it's probably wise to put a book that I know I'm going to prioritize on my TBR. So I think I'm going to do this. So A Fire Endless, I'm going to put this one on. So 2 sequels so far I put on my official TBR. So this is about a bard named Jack in the first book. He is from this island called Cadence, which is, think kind of Scottish folklore, Welsh, Scottish type of folklore. And there are spirits, like elemental spirits, so magical elemental beings on this island. And the 2 sides of the island, the east and the west, the clans have been at war for centuries. And he goes off and learns to become a bard. He's called back to the island to help out his clan in the east because girls have been disappearing, and they think it's the elemental spirits that have been taking the girls. So they want him to come back to use his bard music to soothe the spirits and find out what has happened to the girls. So as I said, love the first book. I'm excited to see what happens in this one. So A Fire Endless by Rebecca Ross for book 3. Okay, book 4 is, let's see. Okay, landscape on the cover. We're getting a lot of like on the cover books. That's more of, I mean, I guess that's kind of landscape. So we have a garden door. Oh yes, yes, I already know. Should I just pick this one? Because I know this is the one I want. I'm just gonna pick it. Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst, which my other book is by Sarah Beth Durst as well. But this is a continuation of her Spell Shop series, and I absolutely wanted to read it in August, so it makes sense to just pick this one. And obviously there's a landscape. This fits the prompt more anyway, so look at how beautiful that is. See the little sea serpent? How adorable is that? So cute. And I'm about to sneeze. Okay, I think I've controlled it. So as I said, this is a book in her Spell Shop series, but you don't necessarily have to read the others. There are characters that are in each book or talked about in the various books, the other 2 books, but they're not ones where you'll be confused if you skip the other ones and just go to one of them, like reading this one. But I do suggest going ahead and reading starting at the Spell Shop. So, but Sea of Charms is the 3rd one. And I'm so excited. So let me read what this one is about. Marin has always belonged on the great blue sea. Betrayed by love, she lives and works as a supply runner, sailing from island to island, delivering an array of goods with Perry, the sea serpent, and Ree, the sailor shrub, as her crew. On one of her routine trips to the capital, Elysium, Marin finds a revolution on the way, and her friend Dax in the line of fire. What starts as a rescue evolves into a deal. She will keep Dax on as a member of her crew if he pretends to be her boyfriend at the end of Harvest Festival back home. But against her better judgment, Marin finds herself intrigued by his stubbornness, his passion for stories, his charming smile, and realizes that perhaps she isn't saving him. Maybe it's the other way around. So, cozy fantasy. I've loved the others, and so I'm very excited. You do see Marin in the 2nd book, The Enchanted Greenhouse. So that's how I know about her. But again, you don't have to absolutely read the others to understand this. So, Sea of Charms. Okay, so that's 4 books. So now we have 2 more. Okay, let's see. I don't have, it's random emoji generator. I'm going to nix that one because I don't have my iPad on me. Okay, and then I just got a wintry word on the cover. Yeah, none of those are going to work. I do not want to do a wintry book, so I don't really have any wintry ones right now. Okay, next, let's see what this one is. Okay, adult fantasy. That works because I do have a few. So the Unicorn Hunter I know is an adult fantasy. The Crimson Throne is as well. Let's see. I think these two are as well. So Bride of the Fey Prince and Imperfect Harmony is 2. I think that's good. I think these are good. But as I said, now that I've been looking closer at the cover, I do think this is a winter book, so I'm just gonna skip this one. And hopefully I'm right. So we're gonna put that one back. So that leaves 3 books. So I have Bride of the Fey Prince, which I know is a clean romantasy. The Crimson Throne, which is a historical fantasy, but then we have another historical fantasy with the Unicorn Hunters. I think this is a standalone. This is the first. The second book is coming out here soon. So do I want to read, this is like Queen Elizabeth, Mary Queen of Scots, and spy intrigue stuff. And this is about Anne of Brittany and all the stuff that she went through, trying to be forced to marry the King of France, that sort of thing. But then you add fantasy. So, eeny meeny. I think it's going to be between these two. Even though the second book is coming out, I really want to get to this. I did read Catherine Arden's The Bear and the Nightingale. It was only okay for me because it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. It was kind of long and drawn out. But I did enjoy the characters of that, and I enjoyed her writing. She is a prolific writer. And so I've heard really good things about this one. So I think I'm going to go with the Unicorn Hunter as my adult fantasy. So as I said, this is about Anne of Brittany. She was a child when France invaded and drove her royal father to his death. Now she's a young woman, sovereign duchess of an occupied realm. And France means to crown their conqueror by marrying her to their king. But Anne refuses to bow down and be the last Duchess of Brittany. Her only hope of resisting conquest is another alliance sealed with marriage. So Anne arranges a daring last gambit, a secret betrothal to Charles of France's greatest rival. Let's see. But secrets are hard to keep in a world where rival courts spy on each other with diviners. Sorry, guys. Of course, I forgot my glasses. The forest of Broceliande was once the haunt of Merlin the Enchanter and the long-lost fairy queen. But magic is long gone from Broceliande, except for the occasional sight of a unicorn. Of a unicorn. Sorry, guys. And one critical quirk, the unicorn forest is completely inimical to divination. So I found out what inimical means if you watched my last video when I read it, and I was like, I've never heard that word before. So it's like opposed, like that sort of thing. Like you can't, it's in, now I can't even remember what it is. But it's in opposition. There we go. In opposition. So divination wouldn't work in the forest, obviously, is what it's saying. So yeah, it sounds good. Like I said, I've heard really good things about this one, and I am ready to get to the Unicorn Hunters. Okay, so that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So let's see what my last prompt is going to be. It is, next in a series. Okay. Next in the series. So that's not starting a new series. Too bad, because that could have worked with Sea of Charms. But that's okay. That is okay. I don't know. I'm trying to think what I could do for next in the series. I could do Anne's House of Dreams. This is the only one I think I have on my TBR shelf that is the next in a series right now. Unless I want to read, I'm rereading The Ballad of Never After in preparation for the novella coming out in September. And I'm almost done. I could go ahead and read A Curse for True Love, but I am planning on reading it in September and then reading the novella at the end of September. So what do I want to do? Do I feel like reading Anne right now? See, that's the thing. Do I feel like reading Anne, or do I want to go ahead and read A Curse for True Love? I could keep it for the end of August, and then it would lead into September. I don't know. I'm torn. I know you guys, if you've been here a minute, you know how much I love this series. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this one. Yeah, we're going to do this one. I'm not really feeling Anne at the moment. I'd rather, since I already had plans to reread this, I'm just going to do this one. So next in a series, A Curse for True Love from the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So that's it, you guys. Those are the 6 books that I have. The Heart of War, a Clean Regency romance by Olivia Snow. That was for the prompt dessert on the cover. There's an apple. Then Star Chaser, which is a nighttime cover, as you can see. There are stars, so this is by R.M. Gray. Then A Fire Endless. This was for the prompt, has a map. It does have a map. Then we have Sea of Charms by Sarah Beth Durst. This was a landscape on the cover. Absolutely landscape. Then we have The Unicorn Hunters. This is for an adult fantasy. And yeah, definitely excited to get to that one. And Continuous Series, A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. So the 3rd book in the series, and I'm so ready for the novella in September. So that's it, you guys. I appreciate all of you for watching, and I'm pleased. I'm pleased with these official TBR books for sure. And as I said, pile of possibilities, but I definitely put forth the effort to try and get to every book that was picked for my TBR. So thank you so much for spending time with me. I am so grateful for all of you guys. Please like and subscribe if you'd like more book and home fragrance content from me. I do post about both. And until next time, take care. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.